Behind the Shades.
So was this something, Harvey, that you always wanted to do because you have four beautiful children? Or is this something that when you started becoming a father with child number one, you kind of had to learn as you're going along?
I think the best way to it's a bit of a story. I talk enough, so I won't have a problem getting into it. So I grew up in somewhat of a toxic household. My parents were together. They got divorced when I was 10. I had to go to court and I had to sit in that chair. I had to testify and pick a parent. So from that experience and aside, and I was those first 10 years because it was very violent, it wasn't a space where a child should grow up. But that's what happens sometimes. Coming out of that, I did not have a good view of marriage. I was in a house where these two people had no reason being together. They shouldn't have been together, and I lived it day to day, and I heard it, and I saw it, and I experienced it. So pretty much from me leaving that court that day, living with my dad, I'm like, I'm not getting married. I'm not doing it. It's not working. I have other people in my family who were married, and their relationships weren't that great. Why am I getting married? So I pretty much had that in my head. I'm like, I may have some kids, I might do that, but I'm not going to get, that's not going to be I grew up, went to college, failed out. I did my thing. It took me a while to kind of get myself set. And I dated and I kept myself at the point where I was not a statistic. I was not a baby daddy. I didn't have any kids running around. I wasn't messing around. I was safe. I enjoyed life, but I made sure that it wasn't going to affect anybody negatively. And I'm never going to get married. I don't know. Maybe I'll never have kids. I walked into work one day and I saw a woman sitting over at a desk and I'm like, that's my wife. Because we talk a big game about stuff until something changes. And I'm like, yep, that's her. So I went from like, it was like a Monday, like, I'm not getting married. I said that at 7:30. At 8:15, I saw my wife. It's that kind of stupidity. So from there, I went from not wanting to get married to I found my wife. And then we started dating eventually. It took a little while. She had two kids from a previous relationship. So the first two kids that I have are from previous relationship. My son, who's 19 now, and my daughter, who is 17 now. Then we got together and we have two kids of our own, but I have four children. So for me, parenting started as the eventually adult and the eventual father of two kids whose father was around. Not involved, but around. So he was there. So I got closer to mom, I got closer to them, and eventually got married. And then we're family. So that's where fatherhood started for me, kind of raising somebody else's kids. We got married pretty much within a year of us dating. For somebody who had been so safe previously, we got her pregnant and we got married. Quick, bang, bang, bang. Once we got together, we're like, let's just make this official. And we just got to business. So then we got married. A month later, my first biological daughter was born. So to me, there's somewhat of a line. There's sort of a space between being that stepdad versus being like the biological dad. Because for me, I want to be involved. So as soon as I found out my wife, Carice, was pregnant, I'm like, okay, I'm at every appointment. I'm there. I'm at every test. I'm like, listen, schedule these appointments so that it's on my day off so I can be there. It's like, cool. Every one of them. I'm there. I saw the baby being born. I was with her through every craving. I went to the movie theater because she loved movie theater popcorn while she was pregnant. So I'm the one going to the movie theater to get the popcorn. I'm getting her a Wendy's burger she wanted one. I'm like, this is my child, and this is the woman taking care of my child. So for me, fatherhood encompassed everything. The kids, my wife. But then we had one more child. But by then, I'm dad to everybody. I'm the adult male for everyone in this house. And that's what I take it as. I'm raising them. Now, we were working for a while and we got to the point where I went to work one day and they were like, listen, Harvey, we don't need you to come back ever again. So they're like, listen, so I got fired. So I went home. So fatherhood was kind of thrust upon me. Stay-at-home dad was kind of thrust at me because it wasn't the plan. But once I didn't have a job and my wife was working and doing well, so I didn't have to immediately get a job, I stayed at home. And that was about 5 or 6 years ago. And this is what I do. This is my new full-time job. It's not new anymore, but it's my full-time job. It is raising these kids to be great members of society. I'm raising a son to be respectful, to be a good part of this world. I'm raising 3 daughters to respect themselves, to know how to be respected. I'm sending my agents out. That's what my kids are. I know I'm doing a good job if my kids are met by other people and other people know that they're good, because that means me and my wife have done something good. So that's pretty much my fatherhood story, but everything, obviously it's a day-to-day change because being a dad changes when the kids get older or when you change as a person.